Okay, so what kind of situation do we have at the moment on AUD CHF? We have a market in which the market has created this previous support here, and after the market broke it to the downside, we went for a retest all the way up to this previous support, now turned resistance. So here we have a strong weekly resistance, structure resistance that the market should respect, giving us a nice rejection to the downside. What we can also see by taking our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse is that the market has managed to break above all Fibonacci levels. So we definitely don't expect a strong continuation to the downside, but we do expect a minor move to the downside to grab some liquidity before continuation higher. Going down on the daily time frame, what kind of situation we have? Now, on the daily, we can see that the market has continuously broken all structure to the upside. The most recent level of structure that the market has broken is this zone here, which was resistance here, again resistance, and all this resistance is now turned support at this area. Now, since we have this previous resistance turn support at this area and weekly resistance here, the market is trapped in between the weekly resistance that we have at this level and this daily support that we have here. So we have a market that is trapped in between these two zones. Let's go and see what we have from a COT perspective. So commitment of traders, what hedge funds are doing at the moment on the AUD and what they're doing on the CHF. So how are they positioned on these two currencies? Let's start by seeing what we have from an AUD perspective. Now on the AUD, we can clearly see that at the moment we are sitting at minus 40k net positions. So we have way more shorts than longs from an institutional perspective on the AUD with a 48.3% short exposure and 66k short positions. So we definitely have a way more shorts than a longs on the AUD, and we can expect the market to make a move to the downside. From a CHF perspective, what do we have? We have net positions that went from minus 3k to plus 8k. So from having more shorts than longs to having more longs than shorts with now 13k long positions and 4.5k shorts from an institutional perspective on the CHF with a 33.9% long exposure. So strong CHF and weak AUD. And that aligns pretty well with what we have from a weekly perspective. However, we can't forget that we have this daily support here. And until this support will remain support, the market should easily continue to the upside. But things might change during the trading week, meaning that we might see the market actually break back below this structure. Now, trading is reactive, not predictive. So if the market will remain above this level, we should easily see continuation to the upside, but we're not interested in it because we have weekly resistance. Therefore, we wouldn't have a good probability setup. But if the daily time frame will actually manage to break back above this support that was support also here will be turned resistance at this level, and we will have a weekly time frame aligning with a daily time frame, creating a good probability setup. So if the market will manage to break on the retest of the level, what we will be doing with students, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a good probability and good risk to reward to see the continuation to the downside, creation of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside. We will also have the break of this counter trend line that will be retested exactly here, creating even more confluence of resistance, as well as the Fibonacci obviously taken from the high to the low of the market, of the impulse that the market will create. So this is overall how we will be approaching AUD CHF. If you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.